We packed up our family in our Tesla Model Y 7-seater and headed out on a massive road trip all the way down the East Coast. Over 1,000 miles, we went from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all the way down to Orlando, Florida in Walt Disney World. Our friends who were also traveling with us did the exact same route, but in a gas car. This was the perfect chance to do a full comparison. Does it really take longer in an EV to do a road trip? And what's the cost savings of driving an EV on a road trip compared to a gas vehicle? You're gonna wanna stick around because the results of this are shocking. Enjoy the shenanigans of the road trip along the way, but make sure to stick around because the results will shock you. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Our big road trip is about to get underway. Tyler has a soccer tryout tonight that kind of got added last minute. We are now going to be headed out tonight after his tryout, like literally as soon as he gets off the field. Into the car he goes, on the road we go. Our friends who are driving in a gas vehicle, they already got on their way. So we're gonna run the timers kind of separately. Don't worry, we have a LockettTech reporter in that vehicle, Brandon Lockett. He's riding down to Florida with them and he's capturing all that good info. Brandon, how you doing over there?
Hey guys, it's me, Brandon. I'm right now filming for the gas car. It is currently 2:53 and we are leaving to head to Disney.
Thank you for that start report, Brandon. The tryout is due to be over at 7:45. The moment that's over, we're on the road and we're not stopping until we get to our first supercharger, and we're bringing you guys along with us. Gas vehicle versus EV on a pretty extensive drive. Let's get rolling. See you soon, Dodger. Bye-bye. Bye, Emma.
Quick update, we've been driving for 2 hours and 57 minutes. We're just north of Washington, D.C. We took in around 17.206 gallons, and that is up to 56.25.
We are here at the soccer tryouts. Tyler's out there somewhere. If we go to the car icon, if we go to trip, we go to trip A. We want to show it in the trip card, and we want to reset trip A to 0.
Ooh,
so now,
fancy.
Yeah, so now when we get there, we can come here, see our exact distance, our exact total energy that we used, and our average watts per mile, literally just for this entire road trip. How fancy is that?
That's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, I actually kind of found it by accident. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Wow, that is a lot of superchargers. It's still figuring everything out. Gets us at Disney World at 1 p.m., which actually isn't that bad. Not as bad as I thought. Our first supercharger stop is gonna be in Laurel, Maryland.
Ooh, we can say hi to our friend.
Then we're gonna charge back up and we're gonna stop in Petersburg, Virginia. Then Smithfield, North Carolina. Florence, South Carolina. Yemassee, I don't know. Somewhere else in South Carolina around 7.
Maybe like Tennessee, Yemassee.
Brunswick, Georgia. St. Augustine, Florida. However, it's getting us at Bay Lake at 13%. We're gonna have to stop and charge before we get to Bay Lake. I don't think there's any chargers at Bay Lake, so we're gonna want to supercharge up before we pull in there. That's not terrible. 8 supercharger stops is kind of what I was expecting. Is that what you expected?
What I expected or what I hoped? I hoped that we would just magically not need to stop as much. But yes, I was actually expecting 7. But I guess technically it is 7. We just want, there's no charging there, so we would want to make sure that we're fully charged.
And the nice thing is we are planning to utilize Disney transportation to get around and do all that stuff down there. As long as we charge it up to about like 70-80%, it should be good to just sit in the parking lot. I'm real curious to see too how full self-drive is gonna work. If
Ooh,
we're gonna find, yeah, oh yeah, we got full self-drive, baby. The plan is we're gonna drive all through the night. We're not stopping. So our game plan is,
oh no, there's no stopping. And if you have to go to the bathroom, you wait for a charger stop. And if you choose not to go, sorry about your luck. No extra stops in this car.
I'm gonna do the first drive to the first supercharger, then we're gonna switch, and then I'm gonna go and try to sleep.
I love reading, so I ended up, gotta love my local library. I ended up getting 4 audiobooks.
You're gonna read while you're driving?
It's audio.
Oh, makes sense. Never mind, sorry.
But then it keeps my mind going while I'm watching the road and I can listen to a story. But if the voice annoys me, then I'd pick a different one. That's why I did 4.
I'm probably going to sleep out about like 1 and 2 in the morning.
Oh.
Because remember on the drive to Myrtle Beach,
You did not sleep.
I did not go to sleep until we got to the
But you didn't have a barrier.
Good point. So we brought my mom's big pillow so that me and Tyler have a barrier so that I don't roll on top of him.
And he brought his friends. Because he likes to snuggle with his friends.
We are at our first supercharger stop, Washington, D.C., Maryland. We are at a shopping center that is like completely dead and closed. It is, in all fairness, it's 10:39. We officially got on our way at about 8 o'clock by the time we got loaded up in the car and we headed out. I mean, when we pulled up, there was literally nobody here. And then right behind us was another Tesla. So you're up, babe.
I'm driving.
She's next on the list. So far, we have traveled 167 miles. We have used a total energy of 52 kilowatts, and our average energy has been about 314 watts per mile. And our total cost was $21.90 to charge from 11% all the way up to 90. We're gonna go ahead and tag Michelle in. I'm gonna grab some sleep. We'll catch you at the next stop. I'm just waking up. We are here at our second supercharger stop. We are in Virginia. It is 1:19 in the morning. This stop happens to be at right there, Sheets, but it's now starting to rain, which really sucks. We are 310 miles into our trip. We have used a total of 100 kilowatts of energy and an average energy of 322 watts per mile. We just finished up charging. We are going to get on the road, coming out here to do it because the boys are trying to sleep, but it was $15.34 for this charging session. We got here at about 20%. We're charged up to, I think it was around like 80. We're gonna hit the road. Michelle's in for another leg, so I'm going back to bed. I'll see you guys in South Carolina. We are at supercharger stop number 3. It actually rerouted us. Apparently the rain was so bad in that last leg that it really just killed the efficiency of the battery. We were originally supposed to be hitting up Smithfield, North Carolina. Now we're in Halifax, North Carolina. Rain was that bad, huh?
It was a rough drive. You couldn't go above 60. You were just swaying everywhere. Self-drive, that didn't work for a huge portion of it. Like the lane changing part of it all. It said cameras were blocked. It was just torrential downpour.
We got here with 44%. All right, we are at stop number 4 now. It is now 4:45 in the morning. It did reroute us to a different supercharger this time. Originally, we were supposed to go down to, I think it was like Smithville or I forget where, but it did reroute us. We're now in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The rain, and I really think the wind has really been messing with the car's efficiency and being able to make it. It's really trying to stretch us on long runs, and it's predicting that we're gonna arrive at the next stop with like 5% left. And all this headwind we're facing from this storm that we're driving through is really just kicking the butt of the battery. I mean, it is nice that the car figures all that out for you and makes sure that you're gonna get there and everything else, but I think it's ultimately gonna add an extra stop along this entire trip. Let's go ahead and check in with Brandon and see how the gas car is doing.
So guys, we have finally made it to the south of the border. This is our third stop. We are filling up the car with gas right now. We filled up at about 13.34 gallons, and that is about $42.67. I'll see you guys when we make it to Orlando.
We have arrived at supercharger number 5. We are in South Carolina. We're at Stuckey's, which apparently is like a dog park, but they also have a convenience store that's not 24 hours, but they do have superchargers, which is really the key there. Let's take a quick look at our trip info. We have traveled 642 miles. We've used 225 kilowatts of energy at an average of 351 watts per mile. And our grand total for charging at this stop, at stop number 5, $16.48. Stop number 6, Hardyville, South Carolina. Michelle took this leg driving. We got here with 25% battery. There's a little man to say hi. It is now 9:33. Here is an update on our trip. 746 miles driven, 261 total kilowatts of energy used, and an average of 350 watts per mile. Let's see how much today's charging cost. $12.09 for our stop in Hardyville, South Carolina. Stop number 7. We're getting there. And we are in Brunswick, Georgia. We are at 28% when we got here. And we've got one more stop and it'll be in Florida. I gotta tell you, the hardest part about road tripping in the Tesla, if it's crappy weather out, you don't wanna go walk around in the rain. So it really kind of sucks if it's raining out. I think this is one of the biggest supercharger stops I've ever seen. I mean, look, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then there's even more down there. There's 24 superchargers here. This is crazy, this is huge. 826 miles driven, 290 total kilowatts of energy utilized, and an average of 351 watts per mile, which I think was really close to what it was at the start of the last one. $8.23 is the final for charging up at this one, and it looks like we charged up about 36 kilowatt hours. All right, let's hit the road. One more supercharger to go. Our final required stop, stop number 8. We were supposed to stop somewhere in St. Augustine, but we were arriving with like 30% battery and we weren't very happy with the food options. We just kind of made a little switcheroo and we stopped at someplace a little familiar. We got here with 10%. It is 1:07 p.m. on Saturday. Here is our check-in. We're good to go. We're up at 67%. We are gonna, like I said, we are gonna stop at another charger, but our dollar amount is $16.16. Now this is our last required stop. We could make it to our hotel based off of just this, but that is what the total would be if you were just going to the hotel. You do the honors, Mace. All right. This is our 9th and last, most importantly, supercharger stop of this trip. We're about 20 minutes away from our hotel. Then we're gonna go have some Disney fun. We made it here with about 23%. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because the Disney vlog is coming soon. Our final cost for our last supercharger stop is $13.47. Now, it's time for the LockettTech crew to go check in at our hotel and then to go have a blast in Walt Disney World. Should we go head over to Walt Disney World?
Yes!
Go see Mickey and do some rides?
Yes!
We out. We'll catch you on the flip side.
I see a sky with a reindeer car, but I'm not running. I see a train moving all too fast, but I'm not leaving. And you go round and round and round, and you cannot see. I'll be right behind you, honking the tree. You look so beautiful today, and how the game is changing. Just like a stranger says.
Sadly, our vacation is over.
This is the worst part.
Let's see what is in store for us for this drive. We're currently at 72%. is what our current battery is at. We've got one stop in Florida, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we don't have to stop to charge up because we'll be at home. Our first stop, Palm Coast Supercharger at 12:40. Let's get underway. For the ride home, Tyler is going to be our remote reporter in the gas vehicle. Let's go check in with him.
We are just leaving the Polynesian after breakfast with Stitch. It's 11:10 a.m. The arrival is 2 a.m. It says it's going to be about 1,026 miles, or about 14 hours. We're almost at a full tank of gas. See how it goes.
First stop is Palm Coast, Florida. We are here right on time. We are at 28% battery. We are up at 80%. It is 1:02 p.m. and our final paid for this supercharger stop is $14.42. I will say this is a pretty supercharger stop. All right, next stop is in 2 hours and 2 minutes, and we are headed to, I believe, Brunswick, Georgia is our next stop. We've arrived at Brunswick, Georgia supercharger. We are at 11%. It is 2:55 p.m. Ty, how are you making out over in the McGovern Gasmobile?
So we're back on the road after a quick stop. So here's the update. We stopped at 210 for a 10-minute rest stop where we hit the restrooms and filled up the gas. The truck took 15 gallons at $3.14 per gallon for a total of $48.
Thanks for that report, Tyler. He's a man of very few words. What do you do when you're on a long road trip and stop at superchargers? You get out and you walk around. I gotta say, that was one of the cleanest, best smelling bathrooms I've ever seen. Nice job, Hilton. She called me perfect.
I did.
Ha, we got it on film, people. We charged up a little bit more because we know there's a crash. We're coming into some traffic. So we are at 74%. Our next charge stop is gonna be Yemassee, South Carolina. Our cost for this charging session was actually really cheap. $10.61 for this charging session. To South Carolina we go. We should be there around 5 o'clock. We have arrived at the Yemassee, South Carolina superchargers. 25% left on our battery. It is 5:40. Man, did we hit some brutal traffic. We are ready to go. We're charged back up to 86%. We got some food, thanks Wendy's. Final charging cost for this stop. This is stop number 3, right? Stop number 3, $16.15.
Stopped at gas for dinner at 6:40 for about 15 minutes. We are 8 hours into our trip and we've gone 470 miles. Gas was $3.41. We took about 13 gallons of gas and it was $43.
Stop number 4, we are at 18%. We are in Florence, South Carolina. It is 7:58 p.m. and look where we are. We're at a Buc-ee's. We've never been to a Buc-ee's before. This is like a big deal. We're gonna have to go check this out. I have definitely never seen a gas station that big. Holy cow. There must be like 50 pumps. And the crazy thing is, I feel like half of them actually have a vehicle at them.
I've seen a Buc-ee's on a video, so Ireland Boys.
Oh, the Ireland Boys, huh? Apparently while you're on your road trip and you're stopping to go pee, you can pick up a smoker if you need to.
Welcome in, welcome to Buc-ee's.
I feel like I'm in like a Walmart, but it's a rest stop. They have their own line of like pet stuff. It's now a restaurant slash bakery slash grocery store slash restaurant. I don't know whether I'm confused or in awe. So what did we think of our first experience at a Buc-ee's?
Pretty cool. There's a little bit of everything.
And look what I got. I'm not too sure about this. Peach rings are my favorite snack of all time, like ever. These are chamoy peach rings. So I'm like kind of terrified. All right, we're gonna try these things.
Are they good?
I don't know. It has a kick,
Huh.
but it's like sweet at the same time.
Wait.
It's not bad. It's just weird. We're charged up. We're back up to 79%. It is 8:22. We're gonna head on our Next leg to our 5th stop, which is going to be the Smithfield Supercharger. Our charging cost is $16.42. We are at Supercharger stop number 5. We are in Smithfield, North Carolina at a Sheetz. That's just as good as a Wawa. Currently at 24%. It is 10:05 p.m. Tomorrow, the baseball organization that I do a lot of volunteer work with is hosting a tournament. Thanks to the traffic we hit in Georgia, we're now not due in until about 6:30 a.m. or so. So as soon as we get in, I'm gonna pretty much have to head straight to the tournament fields to help out with the tournament. So I'm gonna try and catch a few hours of sleep on these next 2 legs. We just got done charging at stop number 5. Unfortunately, the screen went away before we can capture it, but the total dollar amount for stop number 5 was $17.52. We are charged back up to 83%. Michelle is now going to get us driving off to our next stop, which is in
Virginia.
Ooh, we're getting close. Here we are in Virginia. 21% is what we actually arrived at. 17%, but we're charging pretty quick. 12:22 a.m. We're at another Sheetz. We were actually at the same spot on the way down. Stop 7, 19%, 2:17 in the morning.
So I just got home. It's 4:14. Apparently we stopped at another rest stop and I just had no idea because I was asleep. It was a long drive. Finally home.
We are at our 8th and final Supercharger stop. We're in Wilmington, Delaware. It is very late though. It is like 5 in the morning. This is our last stop. We're due home in about an hour. The kids are asleep in the car, so it's gonna be a quick silent show you how much this final Supercharger stop is gonna cost us to charge up. All right, so the numbers are in from the trip. I'll put all the detailed numbers up on the screen, but it was a little over 1,000 miles each way. For the gas vehicle, on the way down, they made 4 stops, and they spent a total of $193.59. In the EV, we made 8 stops, all of which you, I'm sure, remember very well.
And when that last one came, oh man.
For a total of $124.53. So it was a difference of $69.06. That's about how much we saved.
Only taking into account, because we obviously had the same toll, so that was only taking into account their gas and our electric.
Correct. And the difference was only about an hour and 15 minutes. They'd left earlier in the day, so they hit more rush hour, especially going around DC, than what we did. So that I think played a little bit of a role into that. Now, on the way back, we both left at the exact same time coming home. They made 3 pit stops to fill up for a total of $149.23. We still stopped 8 times, 8 glorious, wonderful times, for a total of $115.09 in supercharging costs. That came to a difference of only $34.14. There was like very minimal savings on the way back. And in terms of time, they arrived at 4:14 in the morning. We arrived at 5:50 in the morning for a difference of about an hour and 36 minutes, give or take.
And not a lot cheaper. I was really surprised. It wasn't nearly the cost savings we expected.
Yeah.
And it adds more time, which is irritating when you're on a long car ride.
Yeah, there really isn't that much savings. I mean, to save $35-40 on a pretty lengthy trip, like 1,000 miles, that's really not that much. Now look, I understand the number of times we stopped was really frustrating, but it did only add about an hour to an hour and a half. I don't think that was that terrible. I expected a much bigger cost savings.
Yeah, no, I mean, the reason why we like to drive is because obviously a family of 5 flying, there's huge cost savings in that realm.
Right.
But I am surprised that we could take your truck and really not be that much more money.
The gas vehicle that we're using all of these numbers from is I think it's like a 2020 Ford F-150.
Right.
Now, he averaged about 20 miles per gallon, almost exactly, each way. If you figure if a family of 4 is driving down, you're with luggage, you're taking a family vehicle, right? So you're going to take like an SUV, you're going to take something that's not exactly something that's not overly fuel efficient. So the fact that it was an F-150, I understand it's not the most ideal vehicle to compare to, but I don't think an SUV is going to be that much off from where it was.
Thank you, Dennis, because this was huge to be able to capture it. Although
Yeah.
we had our children narrating, Dennis really did a great job of helping us to navigate how much worth of receipts and things like that he saved.
I mean, supercharging is a little bit more on the expensive side, as opposed to, you know, like if you're trickle charging at home, you're going to pay a much better rate because then you're just paying your own electricity. I guess even if you're staying at like an Airbnb and you bring your travel charger along and you plug in, you'll pay a much better rate that way too. I was expecting a number of like, oh, it's like half price compared to gas. It really is. I mean, look, it's better for the environment, right? I mean, that's a win. It's definitely better for the environment.
Better for our health. It makes us stop more, and it, like every time we stopped, unless it was pouring rain, we were walking, so that's better too.
You have the choice between taking your Model Y, or let's say somebody gives us a Traverse that we can use for free.
It was really hard for the kids to sleep in the back. Not having those captain seats that reclined all the way back was tough. They did sleep, mind you, but all 5 of us could not have ridden in this car comfortably overnight.
No, all 5 of us I don't think could have. Not with luggage and everything. Yeah, I agree.
Not comfortably.
I don't know if this is the best car out there to do a road trip where you don't plan on stopping overnight anywhere and you just plan on driving straight through. I feel like that's a normal way to travel. Most families will stop overnight. They'll get a few hours of sleep at a hotel and jump back on the road. If that's how you're road tripping, then
would be fine.
Yeah, this would be perfectly fine. There you have it, guys. Were you as shocked as us at the difference? We were blown away by it. Let us know down in the comments below. Did you think it was going to be a bigger savings? Are you not shocked at the length of additional time driving an EV on a long road trip like that took, as opposed to if we would have just taken a gas vehicle? Thank you for coming along on our giant road trip. We hope that the information that we collected and presented to you guys in hopefully an entertaining manner ended up being helpful at all. If it did, please make sure to chuck a like on the video down below. And if you haven't already joined the LockettTech crew, we are so close to 10,000 subscribers. We're doing a monster giveaway. It's gonna be really cool when we get there. So help us get there a little bit faster. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. You guys told us at the beginning of the year you wanted to see more family vlogs. Well, we got a really cool Disney family vlog that's gonna be coming out very soon. Hit that notification bell down there too, so you don't miss any of that stuff. If you wanna catch a video that we did on an update on our unplugged performance coilover suspension and whether or not it's worth it, go ahead and click that. If you want to see a list of the best accessories in 2023 you can buy for your Model Y, go ahead and click that right there. Thanks as always for watching, guys. We'll catch you in another one real soon.